Yeah. Hey, what's up, people? It's 11:26 here in St. Kitts and Nevis. It's raining hard as shit. Like it is pouring. And in some parts of the island, hailstones are falling. We haven't had hailstones for a long time. In case some people don't know, hailstones are like little chips of ice. A few people I know have already gotten their windshields cracked because like most tropical places don't really park all vehicles in garages. We're just gonna leave them out on the street or whatever. So hailstones are falling here on the island, and it's pouring rain. It's like the sky opened up, and it's just like never-ending rain, which is good. It's been hot lately. I know the farmers need some rain. I was hoping that no flooding and no landslides happen with this amount of rain. You know, it's been dry, so hopefully the earth soak up most of that rain while coming. But man, it's really something else out there, Jed. Just me. Hey, everybody good? What's up, Mighty Machine? Peace to you. Peace to you. Yeah, just wanna share my thoughts on a couple of things before I go on with my day. I ain't done a live in a long time. To be honest, boxing been kind of boring. I only kind of came on here because it's a slow day at work, and I really had nothing else to do. So I basically just come on just to put some thoughts on record, maybe for a later date. Yeah. The first thing I want to talk about, of course, is Anthony Joshua, right? So Anthony Joshua fought Jermaine Franklin, like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. And of course, before and after, everybody has an opinion on what he should do, what he shouldn't do. What I really want to say about this is that I think Anthony Joshua got to be the most overanalyzed, most psychologically picked at, most media hounded, maybe boxer there is right now. And it's really strange because out of all these people, in Anthony Joshua's generation, Anthony Joshua has been the one either giving us the fights or attempting to give us certain fights. And somehow, and like how they say, a king has no honor in his own country. I find the British media and the British fan base to be rather hypocritical and rather ungrateful to this gentleman. Because there was a time when nobody was talking about British boxing. Nobody. Until he come around. I'm not really was talking about heavyweight boxing until he come around. When Tyson Fury beat Vladimir Klitschko, nobody was talking about that. Like you have never seen nobody play the Tyson Fury versus Vladimir Klitschko fight as a highlight. Nobody. They don't even mention that fight. The fight they mention is when a 19-fight novice in Anthony Joshua fought Vladimir Klitschko for the belt and turned into a classic fight. And then, we could go on in the resume and unifications and all of that. But what I really want to say is that before the Jermaine Franklin fight, it was like, and I get it how social media works. It's like, certain names draw engagement, and Anthony Joshua's name is one of them names that draw engagement. Once you put Anthony Joshua in it, you'll get a little bit more plug. But if you're a big YouTuber, you'll get a lot of attention. Especially if you're shitting on Anthony Joshua. Like if you're shitting on Anthony Joshua, you're gonna get a lot of engagement because there's a lot of people that don't like this guy. For what, I don't know. But this Jermaine Franklin fight was different because it's his first fight coming back from fighting Usyk the second time, and first fight with Derek James. And he really, as normal, Anthony Joshua really don't do a lot of media. And when he was in Texas, it was even less media. So he really just kind of shut out most people and just do his work over there. And so when he come back to England, it was like a media feeding frenzy. And because, you know, sometimes you don't really say nothing, people tend to make up their own stories. The British media, how there was basically nothing was positive. It was, oh, he needs to just give it up and all this bullshit. When he was announced he was fighting Jermaine Franklin, oh, what a terrible fight. What an awful fight. Nobody wants to see that. Mind you, Jermaine Franklin was somebody who the same boxing media in the UK was saying beat Dillian White. And it was so unfair. And Eddie Hearn robbed Jermaine Franklin to make an Anthony Joshua versus Dillian White fight. It was a robbery, and Eddie Hearn should be ashamed. All right, bro. So Anthony Joshua does not fight Dillian White. He fought Jermaine Franklin. Mind you, they were just saying Eddie Hearn robbed Jermaine Franklin to justify a Dillian White fight. Dillian White was beaten, and blah, blah, blah. All right, so Anthony Joshua fights the guy who y'all say beat Dillian White. Young man, young, strong man, never been stopped. And immediately is met with all sort of criticisms. Mind you, before that, the fight they were talking about was maybe Zhilei Zhang, who people said beat Filip Hrgović. People shitted on that fight. People shitted on the Zhilei Zhang fight. Oh, that's an awful fight. Zhilei Zhang is an old man. Blah, blah, blah. All this shit. Mind you, Zhilei Zhang fighting Joe Joyce now in a fight that I think is a good fight. I think it's a good fight. But no, the Joe Joyce versus Zhilei Zhang fight. Oh, that's a big fight. That's a solid heavyweight fight. But if Anthony Joshua was to fight Zhilei Zhang, that's an awful fight. Terrible. Awful. Oh, Joshua needs to retire. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. He fights Jermaine Franklin. In a fight, there was no knockouts and there was no knockdowns. I personally, when I predicted the fight outcome, I said it will go to a 12-round decision. Why? Jermaine Franklin is a guy who fights in a particular way where he's not prone to being knocked out because he's not extremely reckless. And he's young, strong, never been dropped. So, and you have a situation where Anthony Joshua is now following instructions from a new coach. So all of this is going to turn into a man trying out some new shit under a new coach and his opponent who is not really, he doesn't fight a style that's great for being knocked out. And I said it's going to be a 12-round decision. The fight happened, and Jermaine Franklin stands up 12 rounds. I mean, he wins like maybe 2 rounds, maybe. Anthony Joshua outboxes him for the whole fight. You know, lands some right hands, lands some. You know, he was trying for the lead uppercut a lot, and he wins the fight handily, hands down. Same Jermaine Franklin who beat Dillian White. Fight wasn't close. Anthony Joshua dealt with him pretty easily. And what happens now? All of a sudden, all these ex-fighters in the UK, oh, he needs to retire. He looks finished. He looks afraid. He's not the old Joshua. Well, let me remind y'all what y'all were saying about the old Joshua. I could remember when Anthony Joshua, because I used to be one of them people who used to be saying Joshua is somebody who ain't got no skills. He ain't got no real, he's just a big guy who swings on people and he ain't got no real boxing skill and all this. I used to be one of them people a long time ago until I really started watching the guy and observing that, yeah, this is somebody who who trying to do what we want him to do. I remember people used to say, this guy ain't shit. And he can't box. And he can't do this. And, he's just a slugger, a knockout guy. He can't go all this other shit. Anthony Joshua comes out. I remember after the Ruiz loss, which another thing I'm going to bring up because people were saying, oh, he's done. Mind you, these same people are saying the Ruiz fight ruined Joshua. He's not the old Joshua. He's ruined. He's this, he's that. When a fighter has an experience like that and comes back with a different, it means maybe they have learned something, not that they have been ruined. I understand that some of you are looking for reasons, whatever, but if you're in a situation where Joshua is in the first Ruiz fight, he knocks Ruiz down, he rushes in too quick, and he gets caught. What does that do? Still fights the same way, the same result will happen. So he has to now learn from that and learn how to better, how to be more patient in his fights. Because with the Ruiz fight, normally when he had somebody hurt, he would go in and he would swing on them and he would knock them down, and then the people would be overwhelmed, the fight's over. Anthony Joshua got stung in the Ruiz fight. He said, okay, it's like when a child touch a stove, they never touch the stove again because they learned the stove hot. After the Ruiz fight, let's not lie, almost everybody was saying, don't take the rematch. He shouldn't take the rematch. Oh, Ruiz would destroy him again. Don't take the rematch. It's too soon. Take tune-ups and all this other shit. Let's not lie. We heard the people saying that don't take the rematch. Don't do it. Anthony Joshua said, F that. Give me the immediate rematch 6 months later in Abu Dhabi, and I'm going to beat this man. Black Horseman in the chat right now will tell you, I picked against Anthony Joshua in the second fight because I didn't think he would be able to implement the change necessarily, because the fight he fought in the second Ruiz fight, I didn't think he could do that kind of fight. I didn't think he could. Because that kind of fight, if anybody knows boxing, if you watch a fight, Lennox Lewis versus David Tor, it was the same fight Lennox Lewis fought. I know because I'm a Lennox Lewis fan. When people didn't like Lennox Lewis, I was a Lennox Lewis fan back then. And he fought David Tor the same way. But I didn't think Joshua could necessarily do that. But the man went in there, changed his whole body and changed his whole style to meet the particular issue with Andy Ruiz. And he did. After the fight was done, people criticized him. What an awful performance. Nobody wants to see that. What an awful performance. Terrible. Terrible. Awful. Nobody wants to see that. But the man went in there, did what he had to do to win the fight. It shows the guy has an ability to learn and adapt styles necessary to win fights against particular fighters. What bothers me most about boxing fans and boxing media, they lie and they say, oh, you know, we want to see boxing. This is boxing, hit and not get hit. And some people is fine for, but other people not. When Joshua was knocking people out early on, he does a big dumb slugger. Big dumb slugger. When he starts showing his boxing acumen, nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. Who wants to see that? You have other people who never learned anything from the experiences, i.e., someone like Deontay Wilder fought Tyson Fury the first time and didn't learn shit. Went into the second fight to fight the same way, and it went worse for him. Why? Because he always says, I don't need boxing. I don't need to learn nothing else. Went in there the same way. Didn't change anything. Didn't try nothing new. Same way. And he lost. A man ended up licking his neck, and then he started to talk about egg weights. Third fight, same thing. Went in there to do the same thing. Wait, did the same thing, lost. But Anthony Joshua trying to employ more wrinkles, he's ruined. Mind you, Anthony Joshua fought Andy Ruiz in what, 2019 or something? He got stopped in 2019. Since that time, Back never touched the canvas. Never knocked out since that. He fought Ruiz the second time, fought Pulev, then fought Usyk twice. Losing to Alexander Usyk, a man who people say Tyson Fury is now ducking because he him. Anthony Joshua fought that man twice, no problems. He loses to Usyk 2 times. Oh, what a bum. Anthony Joshua is a bum. How could he lose to Usyk? Yet the same people, Tyson Fury ducking Usyk because Usyk would beat him. And Usyk is #1 in the world. So Anthony Joshua fights the guy who people saying Tyson Fury ducked. Tyson Fury ducked and ran from. Anthony Joshua loses to that guy twice. Oh, he's done. What a bum. How could he lose to Usyk? He's done. Deontay Wilder comes back and fights a guy in Robert Helenius who people think, who that fight, I see people saying that fight was fixed. I don't know if it was fixed, but it was an awful fight and it was an awful opponent because we still don't know what the hell Deontay Wilder has left. He fought an old sparring partner, a man who Dillian White beat years ago, and that was Deontay Wilder's opponent. Knocks him out in 1 round, and I don't see nobody doing no think pieces like, is Deontay Wilder really done? But because he knocked out Robert Helenius, that was great. That was great. Old Robert Helenius. Remember, when he fought Dillian White, oh, that's a Eurobomb. That's a nobody. That's a Eurobomb. Who's Robert Helenius? That's a Eurobomb. Deontay Wilder fights a much older Robert Helenius, knocks him out, and everybody's cool. Everybody's cool. Hold on for a second. Play. Zay. Shirts? As in uniform shirts? As in uniform shirts? I don't have any shirts over here. No, that is, well, it's Karen stuff. She had been checked off, so they belong to Karen. I don't know what she has. That's something that you have to ask her about. I know it was only women shop was over here. I don't know if you want I'm back. Hey yo, it is pouring here. It is pouring. I just had to go and move my vehicle because I told y'all before it's raining and hailstones are falling. It is crazy. This weather is awful. Anyway, so as I was saying, bro. So Wilder fights old Robert Helenius, who was his sparring partner, knocks him out in one round, and everybody's like, "Oh, that Wilder's back. Wilder's back." And I know, I'm like, y'all really think that fight was appropriate for Deontay Wilder? Years ago, when Dillian White beat Robert Helenius, he was a Eurobum. Years ago. Now, a much older, much more beat up Robert Helenius, who retired right after that fight, by the way. Deontay Wilder knocks him out in one round, and that's a great fight. I don't see nobody doing no think pieces. I don't see nobody doing no psychoanalysis. You know why people not doing that? Because Deontay Wilder's name by itself don't draw media. It don't draw attention. It don't draw attention. But if you psychoanalyze Anthony Joshua, then you'll get some kind of thing. Let me show y'all the Ring Magazine current rankings. Let me show y'all something. So here we are. They have Deontay Wilder ranked above Anthony Joshua. Let's go to the rankings. This guy, the current unified champion, beat this guy twice. Right? This guy just ducked him. This guy just ducked him. This guy got beat by this guy, I would say 3 times. He comes back and beat Robert Helenius and gets ranked over this guy who just beat someone years younger, years fresher in Franklin. Franklin, who a lot of people say beat him, the number 6 heavyweight, him. Anthony Joshua has already beaten him in a match. He's beaten him, number 6, and he's beaten him, number 8. And I'm wondering, why is it that the rules are different for Joshua, him, than the rest of these people, especially these two? I would agree with you that Tyson Fury might be the one right under Usyk, or Tyson Fury might be the number 1 over Usyk, whatever. But in this round, Anthony Joshua has beaten 1, 2, 3. Lost to him and lost to him twice, which means he's fought 1, 2, 3, 4 current Ring Magazine ranked people. Yet somehow he's the one, him, that needs to retire. He's the one that's finished. This guy has beaten, let me see how much people out of this list here. Let me see how much people has this guy beaten from this list. Let's see. Joshua, no, ducked $120 million. Joe Joyce, no. Ruiz, they were supposed to fight. We don't know what's going to happen with that. This guy ducked him when he was number 1 contender. Oh, there you go. There you go. Here's his cherry. Here's his cherry. This guy. Him. He beat him twice. This is the guy who everybody says he was some dangerous guy. A guy who never won no amateur accolades. Never beat nobody in the professional ranks worth a damn. So he's beaten one guy twice out of this ranking. How much people has Tyson Fury beaten out of this ranking? This guy. Beat him 3 times, in my opinion. Well, twice officially. Yet somehow, Tyson Fury also ducked him. So Anthony Joshua, who's beaten, let's see, 1, 2, 3 people in the Current Ring magazine ranking, he needs to retire because he didn't knock out a guy who y'all said beat him. He needs to retire, not him, who, by the way, just fought Derek Chisora for the 3rd time, who just fought him, by the way. So Tyson Fury has beaten these 2 people. He fought Dillian White finally after he wouldn't fight it. He fought Derek Chisora and people like Otto Wallin. Otto Wallin, who's about the level of Jermaine Franklin, by the way. And when he fought Otto Wallin, got his face almost torn off by Otto Wallin and chased around the ring. But after the Otto Wallin fight, he wasn't asked to retire. But he should retire. What is it about him that makes his retirement so necessary, but not these other people? Not these other people. None of these people need to retire, just him. All I want to do is ask the questions. I just want to ask the questions. I need to know what is about Anthony Joshua that he has to have, but not these other people. He comes in with Derek James, and Derek James said, Anthony Joshua did exactly what I told him to do. Anthony Joshua did exactly what I told him to do. But he needs to retire. Not Tyson Fury, who just ducked Usyk, and ducked Joshua too, by the way. Deontay Wilder, who hasn't won a proper fight in years. Deontay Wilder ain't won a proper fight in years. Now, he don't need to retire. But we're doing entire think pieces on Anthony Joshua. All I'm saying is Anthony Joshua is being held at a higher standard than anybody else. And I don't understand why. This is coming from somebody who never used to be an Anthony Joshua fan. But I come to have to respect the guy for his ability to adapt, to learn, to want to get better, and what he's done in this sport. Had to respect it. But if I could show you all these things about the other people, mind you, in the Current Ring magazine rankings, he still beat more people than ever. But he has to retire. Deontay Wilder ain't won a proper fight in years. Years. He don't need to retire. He's fine because he knocked out Robert Helenius. Tyson Fury ducks Anthony Joshua, now ducks Alexander Usyk. Got his face half torn off by Otto Wallin. Otto Wallin, who's about the same level as Jermaine Franklin. Neither are elite heavyweights, just solid heavyweights. His face torn off. Didn't knock down Otto Wallin, but didn't knock him out either. But he didn't need to retire. He didn't retire. Anthony Joshua fights and doesn't knock out the guy. Oh, you need to retire. You're a bum. You need to retire. Leave. We want the old Joshua back. The same Joshua y'all said was an awful fighter back then. He's just a slugger. No boxing skill, just a slugger. I remember that because I was one who years ago used to say that same shit. till I had to stop and give the man his respect. So if I could show you all these things about how he's seen versus rivals are seen, and you could still act like this, it means the issue is not really Anthony Joshua. It's not really boxing no more. It's something different. It's something different. You just don't like this guy. You don't like this guy. And that's cool. But let me just, but what I need you to do is just say you don't like him. And we could go from there. Because once you admit that, we could stop acting like your analysis has anything to do with boxing. Anything to do with boxing, has nothing to do with boxing. So then, therefore, I could look at the video and say, like, dude, I get it. One second. Sorry, I had to just clear my throat just now. Bro, it is pouring outside. I don't know about no storms coming through. There's no hurricanes out. There's none of that out. It's not hurricane season. What the hell is going on? Anyway. I mean, I don't understand. I really don't understand. I just demonstrated to you in the Ring Magazine top 10. This dude fighting the people, I tried to fight these people. He's coming back with a new trainer. His trainer said he did exactly what I told him to do. The reason why, it's not hurricane season yet, Charles, which is odd with this kind of weather. Hurricane season is usually like in the summertime when it gets really hot. Summertime down into like October. That's hurricane season for us. I think it's November, October, something like that. It's hurricane season for us. So how is it Anthony Joshua doesn't do this? Other people have awful performances, but he needs to retire. He, as Tony just said, and fight doctor before him, AJ's done. That's fine. That's fine. You could think that. But if what I showed you just now, if you don't think Deontay Wilder ain't won a fight in years, an actual good fight in years, what's the confidence? I don't understand. Like, what's his confidence needs to find? If he's not confident, he goes to the boxing ring, he's gonna get knocked out. I really don't understand. To me, people want to see something from the guy that maybe Hellenius is more proven than Franklin. Hey, Tony, look here, man. Yeah, he's more proven because he's older. That's why he's more proven. He's far more lost to more people. It's easy to be more proven when you're that old and you've lost to any good fighter you fought. You've lost to him. That's why you're more proven, because any good fighter you fight against, you lose. Yeah, he beat Kawanaki. Yeah, all right, man. Yeah, Kawanaki. That's Hellenius' big win. Adam Kawanaki. Jesus. How you gonna watch this man's accomplishments, what he's doing, what he's trying to do? But Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury not done. Tyson Fury guys got his face pulled off by Otto Wallin and didn't knock him out neither. Didn't knock him out neither. But Tyson Fury didn't need to retire. I didn't see no videos from y'all about Tyson Fury's done when he didn't knock out Otto Wallin. I didn't see no video from y'all. I didn't see no video. Where's the video? Where's the video? But no, he's done. I just think Joshua is being held to a different standard than his rivals. Like, everybody else can, have solid fights and hard fights, not him. I just realized the hypocrisy in a lot of these things, and it has nothing to do with boxing. Nothing to do with boxing. It's all personal dumb shit, and I don't know why, because y'all don't know, dude. I'm not sure why y'all keep up this lot of like ridiculous pretenses, like y'all analysis is about boxing, because it's not. Because if it's about boxing, and you look at what this dude is trying to do, then you'll see a person who's actually adapted his game for the purposes. Yeah, Lisa, they want him to be done, and that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. They want him to be done. Tyson Fury can not knock out anybody. Knock out Otto Wallin, he's not done. Deontay Wilder can't knock out anybody worth a damn. He's not done, but Anthony Joshua's done. Okay. All right, man. You got all these psychoanalysts who every time he fights, what kind of mood is he in? What does he look like? Oh, his face looks sad. Oh, at the face off, did he turn first? Oh, AJ scared. He's scared. What? Like, what y'all talking about? Deontay Wilder had a record-long stare down with Tyson Fury and got his ass whooped. I see people making like entire videos on if Anthony Joshua looks sad or looks emotional. I'm like, the guy's just sitting there. He's not doing nothing. If he laughs too much, oh, he's laughing too much. If he's not laughing, oh, he looks numb. He looks numb. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't see nobody doing this to no other fighter. And y'all can't tell me y'all don't see these videos. Anthony Joshua laughs so much. Oh, he's like, I remember when Philip Hergovich did a video. Oh, Anthony Joshua laughs too much. You know, he doesn't have the warrior instinct. He laughs too much. Oh, Philip Hergovich. I'm like, he laughs too much? What does that mean? What does that mean? A fight doctor, Wilder needs to sleep an actual top heavyweight. One of these days he will, though. One of these days, maybe when he's, halfway out the door like he is now. He can't get a fight right now, so we'll see. Maybe Wilder does sleep him. But Deontay Wilder needs to believe in himself. He should have took that $100 million. Should have took all them offers to sleep Anthony Joshua. Y'all been promising me for years Deontay Wilder would do this and Deontay Wilder would do that. All that shit Deontay Wilder would do and could do. Deontay Wilder ain't never believed in himself enough to step in the ring with Anthony Joshua. Not one time. So one of these days, fight doctor, Deontay Wilder will make your dreams come true and sleep Anthony Joshua. But to do that, he has to actually step in the ring. Anyway, that's it for me about Anthony Joshua. Yeah, I want to talk about the British Boxing Board of Control, right? So Amir Khan just pissed hot for Ostarine. Is it Ostarine? Let me see what the hell Ostarine is. Ostarine. So it's a pen. Let me see. What is Ostarine? Before I talk out this in my mouth. Ah, shit. But anyway, it's something that's used by bodybuilders to improve performances. That's the long and short of it. And that's what it is. So Amir Khan got caught with Ostarine. And this is a year or so after the Kell Brook fight. And this just came out a couple days ago. The British Boxing Board of Control first came on and said they didn't know nothing about it. Mind you, the British Boxing Board of Control recognizes UKAD as its drug testing agency of choice. UKAD deals with water standards, and the British Boxing Board of Control supposedly only recognizes UKAD. The UKAD report said they did send it to the British Boxing Board of Control, but somehow nobody knew about it. Robert Smith first tried to lie. Robert Smith is the guy in charge of the British Boxing Board of Control. First tried to lie and said, oh, I didn't know nothing about it. And of course, Ben Shalom from Boxer said, well, I'm sticking to his story. Oh, I didn't know nothing about it. Nobody told me nothing. I didn't know nothing about it. Robert Smith comes back out and said, yeah, I was aware that there was a report to be looked at, but we were basically busy and we didn't get a chance to look at it. So the British Boxing Board of Control sat on a report about a drug fail with the organization that they actually recognize, UKAD. They say they recognize UKAD. UKAD sends the report or sends the alert that something is wrong here with this. Here's your report. The British Boxing Board of Control sat on the report. It's my opinion the British Boxing Board of Control sat on the report to help boxer Ben Shalom to facilitate the Khan versus Brook fight. Why? Because that was the first fight of any magnitude boxer was going to do. If Amir Khan was pulled from the fight, it would have been an absolute shambles. The Khan versus Brook fight was boxer's first big event. It's my opinion that boxer and the British Boxing Board of Control both knew about the finding and they agreed to keep it hush-hush until the fight was done. In my opinion, you can't tell me that UKAD sends a report. Mind you, UKAD, the one that you recognized, the one that you... That's fine. Happened after the fight, okay. Or whatever. So you recognize UKAD. It happened after the fight. Whatever y'all want to. And you set, because remember, Amir Khan had a rematch clause. He could have activated that shit. Kell Brook said he found out on social media. Well, Lisa Bales, in this case, UKAD was on point because UKAD actually caught the situation and sent it to the British Boxing Board of Control. The British Boxing Board of Control chose not to open it, chose not to read the report. I don't believe for an instant that they didn't know about this shit. Yet the British Boxing Board of Control have my guy ODB, Old Dirty Ben. Old Dirty Ben didn't fail any UKAD tests. He failed a VADA test that he didn't have to do. Billy Joe Saunders failed a VADA test too when he said he was using some nasal spray. And the same British Boxing Board said, we don't recognize any VADA tests. We only recognize UKAD. So this is where the whole thing goes crazy. In my opinion, the British Boxing Board of Control might be a corrupt organization because on one hand, you only recognize UKAD, but now when UKAD sends you a report, you ignore it. Conor Ben fails VADA, but doesn't fail UKAD, and you're trying to lynch Conor Ben for not failing the drug testing service that you use. So let me say it again. Billy Joe Saunders failed a VADA test and said it was a nasal spray. UKAD backed up Billy Joe Saunders. Not UKAD. The British Boxing Board of Control backed up Billy Joe Saunders, said we don't recognize VADA tests. Billy Joe Saunders is not fighting in the UK. He did VADA. That has nothing to do with us. Conor Benn doesn't fail UCAD. He failed a VADA test. No. Well, you failed a VADA test, so you gotta come and see us now. As a matter of fact, you can't box nowhere in the world. Conor Benn didn't fail a UCAD test. Amir Khan fails a UCAD test. The British Boxing Board of Control hides the test, hides the result, chose not to see it, and didn't tell Boxer. Y'all see the hypocrisy and the corruption? One hand you want to use UCAD, on the other hand, nah. You didn't fail UCAD, but hold on. Boxing, let me be clear with you. They're talking about it was out of season and it was out of camp testing or whatever. I don't care what it was. If you take a blood test and you fail, you fail. You fail. Whether or not Billy Joe Saunders was out of season, out of training camp, out of whatever, a fail is a fail. But even though they came out back in Queensberry Promotions, because them time Billy Joe Saunders was on the Queensberry, he was supposed to fight Demetrius Andrade in Boston, I think it was. He failed a VADA test, and they came out immediately and said, we back Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe Saunders did not fail UCAD. We don't recognize VADA. Conor Benn didn't fail UCAD. He failed VADA versus funny, whatever you want to say. He failed VADA. No, the British, no, they want to accept VADA as the testing, even though he didn't fail their testing UCAD. Amir Khan fails UCAD. UCAD sends the report. The British Boxing Board of Control chooses to not see the report. What I'm saying here is we have on our hands a corrupt, in my opinion, a corrupt organization. I have no problem with UCAD because you might use different standards for drug testing. WADA and VADA are two respected organizations used around the world. UCAD did catch Amir Khan, yet the British Boxing Board of Control chose not to see it. Conor Benn can't even fight in Saudi Arabia or America. They're sending messages to the is it the Nevada State Commission or the California Commission, or saying, oh, we would like you to not recognize Conor Benn and fight over it because he failed a test here. He didn't fail a test in England. He failed a VADA test. He didn't fail UCAD. Whether or not Conor Benn is actually dirty, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the inconsistencies and the weird way the British Boxing Board of Control is handling this shit, where some people can do this and some people can't do this. That's correct, Black. He failed it on VADA. It's not on the UCAD list, which is cool. UCAD might not any kind of drug or whatever. VADA might consider it a drug. There's some things I'm sure VADA considers drugs that UCAD don't, or vice versa. That UCAD considers vice versa, whatever. But when Billy Joe failed, Black, the British Boxing Board of Control sent out a report quick to say, we don't recognize VADA findings. We don't recognize. He didn't fail a UCAD test. Amir Khan did fail a UCAD test, which the British Boxing Board of Control, we recognize. Amir Khan is allowed to do whatever, and somehow the promotional company, Boxer, is not aware. Not aware. In my opinion, I think this guy, Robert Smith, is inept at his job. I think he's corrupt as a person. I think the organization, the British Boxing Board of Control, is corrupt, because when they, I was like, nah, something's wrong. Something is definitely wrong. But here we are again. All I'm saying is the British boxing, in my opinion, I'm not from Britain, but I don't like when people are inconsistent with fighters' health and safety. I don't like that. I don't like that there's these inconsistencies when you're dealing with fighters' health and safety. If you don't recognize VADA, don't recognize VADA. If you do recognize UCAD, then you need to recognize UCAD. Not when it suits you, depending on who the person is. Anyway, hey, yo, that's it from me. I want y'all to have a great day. Y'all be easy. It's still pouring here. And I need to go and buy something to eat. So y'all be easy. Stay safe. All you dudes out there who like to take chances, stop. Put condoms on. Because I know some of y'all might have love, because y'all be pushing, you know, whatever. Y'all ladies, stop letting these dudes with these STIs run up in you, right? Let them go take some amoxicillin pills or something. Clean themselves up. Y'all be easy, man. Hey, let me shout out the people coming here. My guy, Tony Reviews. If y'all don't know, Tony got his own chat. Tony's a man who into fitness, lifts a lot of weights, talk boxing, plays difficult video games. Black Horseman in here. Subscribe to the UGC Flame. Toby, the great Lisa Bears, my Ayaba. Fight Doctor was in here. Madden Machine was in here. Boxing Lounge. Charles D was in here. Yeah. Who else? That's it. That's my crowd today. Cool. Hey, y'all be easy and y'all take it easy. All right? Peace.